Okay, so this is the demo for the last case of John Morley. Let's check it out. Okay, new game. Last day in the hospital, the piercing light of the morning sun stirred John from his restless sleep. For months, strange nightmares had plagued him, and even the strongest sedatives couldn't dull the weird visions that haunted his mind. Another day in this wretched hospital. His wounds still ached, but he felt no regret. Despite the accident, he'd brought the culprit of these ghastly crimes to justice. After all, isn't that the duty of any good private detective? Okay.
The name's John Morley, private detective, and today is a momentous day.
It appears you're awake at last. We had considerable difficulty rousing you earlier this morning, so I deemed it best to let you rest a while longer. I bring you good news. The latest test results are favourable, and the doctor has authorised your discharge. You are now officially ready to go. I have placed your belongings on the table. Oh, and a lady stopped by this morning with some clothes from the dry cleaner.
Okay.
I've been having nightmares.
The doctor has prescribed some medication that should help address any residual effects. This should assist in alleviating your nightmares.
Okay.
My belongings? I thought everything was already in the room.
There are a few valuables and some coins we kept for safekeeping. They are in the box on the table.
Okay.
So I'm better now.
Yes, you are much improved. Both your physical and psychological assessments have been satisfactory, and there are no impediments to your returning to your normal life.
Okay.
A woman brought my clothes from the dry cleaner. Was it Penny?
I couldn't say. She arrived quite early, before my shift began. I've placed the garments in the wardrobe to keep them from getting wrinkled. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other patients to attend to. I wish you all the best.
Okay, open the case files to view character information and clues. Okay.
Blimey, it's nearly noon. Trench coat and fedora hat. Every detective's must have. I better get dressed.
Okay.
Blimey, what a fool I took onto that rain-soaked pavement. And to top it off, with that downpour, I ruined my best suit. But, well, that's all water under the bridge now. Quite literally.
Okay, patient number 5567, room 27, 3rd of February, 1945. Subject, discharge resolution report, Dr. A. Fauna. Final review and conclusions. The patient has demonstrated satisfactory improvement in all preoperative objectives. The surgical procedure conducted under protocol EDT 03 has been deemed successful in all respects. Upon completion of final tests and provided that the patient reports feeling physically and mentally prepared, medical discharge is advised. No post-operative complications are anticipated at this time. Continued observation during recovery is recommended to ensure patient stability.
So the mystery woman who took my clothes to the cleaners was Penny after all. Seems she's still got a soft spot for me. Could there be a chance I might win her over? I usually use I should get myself a pair of derbies. Or these do a fine, well-structured shoulders. Looks brand new. The collar's pristine.
Okay. Medical discharge, patient copy. Final review and conclusion. Patients. Yeah, following surgical intervention on the prefrontal cortex and subsequent recovery, the patient's physical and psychological evaluations have returned satisfactory results. No impairments have been identified that would inhibit the patient from resuming normal daily activities. The following medications have been prescribed to manage potential residual symptoms: chlorpromazine, chlorpromazine. The patient is advised to adhere to the dosage instructions provided and to attend to any scheduled follow-up appointments.
That's me, the bloodhound Morley. Story of my life. Nearly broke.
Alright, is there anything else in here?
I'm not ready to leave just yet. This note's from Penny, my secretary. She must have left it here a few days ago while I was still under observation.
John, I'm awfully sorry, but I can't keep going like this. You've been laid up in that hospital for ages, and I've been left skinned with no wages coming in for months now. Before, with the state you were in, I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I thought it best to let you get better in peace, but the other day, Dr. Fauna rang and said they were finally going to let you out, so I figured it was time to tell you. I haven't been to the office in a month, and believe me, I'll miss Hawthorne Street and that old mouldy brick building of ours. But I've got to move on, and you know, even before the accident, you still owed me 3 months' pay. Peter and I are planning to get married, and I need some stability. I hope you understand I've left my key under the doormat. I've paid the water and electric bills, so those are in your hands now. Goodbye, John. I wish you all the luck in the world. P.S. A few days ago, an older woman came by asking for you. I told her you might be back at the office this afternoon. She seemed quite eager to have a word with you. Penny.
Damn it, Penny. I don't blame her, though. I'm a right mess. Rainy and overcast. Typical London weather.
Hey, can I leave now?
I'd better hurry up. Just like Penny says in her note, I might have a new client this afternoon. And with the way things are going, I can't afford to let that slip away. All right, let's get moving. Today's the first day of the rest of my life.
Okay. We're at the office now. John Morley's office. At last, back to the streets and the cold comforts of foggy old London. The chimneys filled the air with the familiar tang of coal dust, while the rhythmic hum of the small industries in Whitechapel, Stepney, and Suffolk ran in its ears like a symphony. Is it Southwark or Suffolk? Or Southwark? I don't know. Because I think Suffolk is spelt differently. Soon he'd be seated in his cluttered, dusty office once more, ready for the next case, perhaps finishing off some forgotten bottle of whiskey tucked away in a drawer, and mourning the irreplaceable loss of his assistant Penny.
Back again. Feels like stepping into a forgotten paradise. Everything's got that same old charm, and yet feels oddly new. This hospital stint's given me a bit of a new outlook. Maybe I'll take it a shade easier from now on, sticking to cases that don't demand a trip to the morgue.
London's most sinful secret, the naughty cat. Madame Marquise, tarot readings and psychic visions. Okay, detect, that's my, okay.
Here they are. Penny's keys. Just like it says in her note.
The London Gazette. Detective John Morley has solved the intricate case of the Jade Mask. Okay.
So this is Peter. That smug grin's got "Punch Me" written all over it.
It actually kind of does.
Penny's desk. I ought to give her a ring and try to sweet talk her into coming back. If this new client brings in some decent dough, maybe I could settle what I owe her and use a little charm to win her over. The murder weapon from the cadaver collector case. Nasty business, that one.
Alright, Detective John Morley has explored the case of the spurned mistress. Okay.
Even the coppers missed it. The slant on the letter E. That's what gave away the typist in the black letters case. My files. Cases, clients, debts. Too many debts. This case is worth its weight in gold. Everything you need for a portable lab. The umbrella with a bullet hole. Souvenir from the marksman case. Nearly lost my hat on that one. This one's a favorite. The jealous lover solved everything with a few blows from an ashtray. Brutal, but effective.
Alright, so Sinister Black Letters case. Widow's Staircase.
My desk, strangely tidy. Normally it's buried under papers, notes, bits of evidence. Penny must have wanted to leave everything spick and span before she walked out on me. Another one of my cards. But this one has my last name circled.
Okay.
The case of the Red Shoes murder. One of the most complicated I've faced. Finally. Case closed.
Okay, so there's a...
Amazing how this little gadget can reveal the devil in the details. The drawer. It's locked. But there doesn't seem to be a keyhole.
Hey, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I did say that Morley's... So... Alright, so it... It makes noises up until... Okay.
The Scarlet Page. I trust Penny didn't go snooping through my things while I was away. Oh, My apologies, madam. I didn't hear you come in. I was a bit distracted.
By the
Good
porn.
afternoon, Mr. Morley. I trust your assistant informed you of my visit as promised.
My apologies. I was rather engrossed and didn't notice your arrival. To whom do I owe the honour of this meeting?
Lady Margaret Fordside, the 4th Countess of Bloomsbury.
Lady Margaret, could you tell me what brings you here today? How can I assist you?
I shall endeavour to be as candid as possible. 20 years ago, when my daughter was just 18, she was brutally murdered. It happened at our family estate, Bloomsbury Manor. Someone slipped into the house unnoticed, and upon reaching her room, delivered 5 fatal stab wounds to her chest, lungs, and heart. The police, eager to close the case, hastily blamed and condemned 2 violent thieves who clearly had nothing to do with her death. The investigation was closed, and justice was never served. I am prepared to offer you £30,000 if you take on this case, and a further £30,000 if you can solve it and bring the true killer to light. Tell me, Mr. Morley, will you accept this case?
But
I understand your distress, Lady Fordside. But before I commit to anything, might I trouble you with a few questions?
By all means, Mr. Morley. Ask whatever you must.
okay, why now?
A case that's been cold for 20 years. You certainly don't make it easy for me, Lady Margaret. What made you decide to seek out a detective now?
For over 2 decades, I've fought tirelessly to have the case reopened, to prove that the real murderer escaped justice, but all in vain. Neither solicitors nor well-meaning police friends, nor even journalists hungry for a dark story have managed to uncover anything. Then one day, I read about your success in solving the case of the Red Shoes killer. Regrettably, I also learned of the unfortunate incident that left you hospitalized with grievous injuries. On the advice of your secretary, Miss Penny, I waited patiently for your recovery. And now, here I am.
Okay.
Tell me about Bloomsbury Manor. Do you still reside there?
After Elodie's death, I abandoned the estate. I couldn't bear to remain there, to live within those walls. Even now, when I visit the manor, it still feels as though I can hear her footsteps echoing through the halls, her voice humming that old melody, the delusions of an old woman who has mourned her daughter for far too long, Mr. Morley. No mother should ever have to bury her child. Should you accept the case, Bloomsbury Manor would likely be the best place to begin the investigation. I shall not impede your work, as I now reside at Bedford Square, in the heart of the city.
Okay, so the wrong men?
Tell me about the men the police arrested. Why are you so certain they weren't guilty?
2 days after the murder, the police arrested a pair of violent thieves who were terrorizing the county at the time. Though they swore their innocence in my daughter Elodie's death, their criminal record completely undermined their defense. Seizing the opportunity, the police locked them away for their other crimes, and the case was closed. But what has always struck me as suspicious is that nothing was stolen on the night my Elodie was killed. If those thieves were truly the culprits, why would they murder her and then leave without taking a single piece of silver? It doesn't add up, Mr. Morley.
Any witnesses?
Tell me, were there any witnesses? Did anyone see or hear anything?
It happened at midnight. The house was practically empty at the time, with only a few servants and a guest who was sleeping in the west wing. I was the only one who might have heard something. as my room was next to hers. Unfortunately, I had taken a sleeping draught and fell into a deep slumber. It is a decision I shall regret for the rest of my days.
You couldn't have known.
Well, I believe I have all the information I need to get started. I accept the case and will begin the investigation immediately.
I'm pleased to hear that. My butler will bring you the £30,000 tomorrow morning. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have matters to attend to. Once you uncover the culprit, contact me at once, and I shall promptly deliver the remaining £30,000. Please, Mr. Morley, unravel this harrowing mystery that has tormented me for so long.
Okay. Shadows from the past. The visit from Countess Margaret Fordside was just what John needed. A case with all the right ingredients to stir his detective instincts. An unsolved murder from 20 years ago, abandoned by the police in their incompetence, and a generous reward waiting at the end. What more could a man want on his first day back? The journey to Bloomsbury Manor passed without incident, through the rough, neglected road ravaged by years of rain and wind. Made for an uncomfortable ride. He arrived under the cover of night. The place was quiet. Like the ruins of an old tomb, forgotten and forsaken. Okay.
As I made my way through the dense forest path, a haunting silence enveloped the air. It was as though the very night of the crime still lingered here, shrouded in an eerie calm. The manor stood before me, its facade as inscrutable as the shadows that danced in the moonlight. Every step I took felt like a step deeper into the heart of a mystery that refused to be forgotten.
Okay.
Not a sound. The stillness feels heavy, like it's hiding something.
Westland Asylum, a place of hope and healing. At Westland Asylum, we believe that the path to recovery begins with compassion, understanding, and the most advanced techniques of mental health care. Our institution offers a tranquil haven for those seeking respite from the trials of the mind. Westland Society of Fine Arts, 15th of February, 1923. I write to you on behalf of the Westland Society of Fine Arts regarding the exhibition currently on display at our gallery, which features several works by your daughter, Miss Elodie Fortside. While we fully appreciate the remarkable talent and artistry evident in her work, it is with great regret that we must inform you of a matter of concern. Several of the Society's patrons, including among the more sensitive members of our community, have found Miss Fortside's paintings to be of a highly disturbing nature. We have received numerous complaints, with mothers remarking that the artwork has caused distress to their children, and some ladies reporting feelings of unease. There is a growing sentiment that the pieces are unsuitable for public exhibition, particularly in a space frequented by young and impressionable minds. It is with the utmost respect and consideration that we kindly request your ladyship to arrange for the removal of Miss Fortside's paintings from the current display. We understand that this may cause disappointment, but we feel it is necessary to preserve the decorum and sensibilities of our gallery's visitors. We would be honoured to work with you in finding a more appropriate venue to exhibit Miss Fortside's art, where her unique vision can be appreciated by a more discerning and prepared audience. We trust you will understand our position in this delicate matter, and we look forward to hearing from you at your earliest convenience. With the deepest respect, yours faithfully, Sir Arthur Wesley, Secretary of the Westland Society of Fine Arts.
It seems Elodie had a passion for art, but her style wasn't exactly well received. Disturbing from the looks of it. The door's chained up with a padlock. Looks like I'll need to find the key.
Okay. So I'm guessing we go through here.
A blue moon. Fitting for a place haunted by its own secret. Looks like the Countess left this for me. It could be useful for getting around the place.
Okay, so there's obviously something with, like, facing these statues. So I'm going to have to look for, like, a clue or something. I probably... Follow the trail of green lights to investigate past events. Okay. My lady, I would kindly ask that once the midnight service is complete, you grant me a few moments of your time in the library. Joan Murphy, your housekeeper. Okay.
So, the housekeeper left a note for the Countess, asking her to meet here on the day of the murder. I wonder what truly happened during that encounter. Very well. Let's piece the events together, step by step. A globe resting in a beautiful wooden stand.
Alright, so all of those can be... Yeah, so there'll be some sort of...
2 chairs. One of them knocked over. The housekeeper's cup is still here. Tea spilled across the table. She never got to drink it. Lipstick stains. Same shade the Countess wore when she visited my office. Looks like someone arranged tea in the library that day. An empty envelope. Did the housekeeper hand the Countess a letter? It seems they met here. But something went wrong during the conversation.
I am very angry. After all these years of service, this is how you repay me? Walking away like this?
I'm sorry, madam, but the situation has become unbearable. My bags are already packed.
Looks like this is the Fordside family book, showing some of their ancestors.
Okay, Sir Alaric Fordside, an astronomer and a romantic who saw in the stars metaphors for his loneliness. In 1842, during a total eclipse, he swore that the diamond ring around the moon was the spirit of his wife Eleanor, who had died giving birth. From that moment on, his telescope never ceased to aim at the sun, seeking to capture that eternal moment. Lady Eleanor Forsyth. Shrapnel near... Ugh. Okay, so 1842. It's okay. Is all right. So I'm guessing this was the. Okay. Shrapnel scar on her cheek, hands hardened by the iron and mud of the balaclava. With the roar of the Crimean cannons, her silver medical kit, now stained with gunpowder and memory, held not only wounds, but the hidden truth behind a colonel's death. They say she swore to protect the secret, and that was the oath that lingers within these walls. Lord Cedric Fawcett, a man with a prominent nose and a wandering soul, whose steps traced past where only blank maps had once lain. Cartographer to Queen Victoria, he devoted his life to naming the unnameable, jungles that swallowed expeditions, rivers that erased borders, and villages whose names he remembered. His globe, now cracked by time and the salt of 1,000 seas, bears between its meridians the scars of a man who preferred to get lost rather than return. Lady Isolde Forsyth, a pianist with ethereal hands and a drowned heart. After losing her beloved in the wreck of the SS Meridian, her nocturnes became unnamed requiems. Her final composition, Elegy in Blue, rests on the ebony music stand in the library. Its notes sketched waves that never kissed the shore, and its pauses echo the silence of a ring never given. Okay. So... Oh.
The lock has been concealed. This door must open by some other means. Another painting by Elodie. There's something deeply disturbing about her work.
Okay, so... he looks at that. You had something to do with the... Because I read something about a telescope for you. Yeah. Alright, so something about a silver medical kit for her. Oh. Alright, so that's the medical kit. But there's also a thing here.
The Countess threw the housekeeper out in a fit of rage. In her haste, the housekeeper forgot one of her bags. What was it that unsettled the housekeeper enough to abandon her post so suddenly?
Okay, so I need to make sure, because they had different faces. Okay, so something about an ebony music stand. Oh, there's also green in here.
Lady Fortside, still seething, burned something in the fireplace.
My lady, I've reached a decision, though it weighs heavily upon my heart to sever the ties that have long bound me to this household. Since the reign of King William the Fourth, my family has served Bloomsbury with an unwavering loyalty and steadfastness, marked by discretion and a faithful execution of our duties. However, there are limits to all things, and of late this house has been frequented by certain individuals whose presence is wholly at odds with the principles to which my lineage is so devoted. It is no coincidence that our family motto is Oblatus, signifying something offered or consecrated. We are vassals of an ideal, the custodians of the most deep-rooted traditions, and the bastions of the eternal values of our nation. This house has forsaken all of us, and you well know the reasons why. Please do not concern yourself. I, too, understand that you have allowed this. Rest assured, I do not judge you harshly, just as I hope you will understand my reasons. As my family says, Falsta, best wishes. Joan Merver, housekeeper of Bloomsbury Manor.
The housekeeper resigned. Seems something, or someone, troubled her greatly. Enough to break the long-standing family tradition tying her to this place.
Okay, so... I'm still trying to work out... Because these two were easy, because one of them had a beard. Okay, so she's got her hair up in a bun. So hair up in a bun is the one that's with the medical kit. So... Okay, yeah, now she's facing the direction of the medical kit. Alright, so... Theoretically, I could just have her, like... Yeah, because... Elegy and Blue, that's it. Yeah, okay. Oh, what's this?
The Fordside family crest. A rampant dragon. A time-honoured symbol across European heraldry, particularly among the English and the Welsh. This must have been some sort of private study for the Countess. Lady Margaret and a young woman. I suppose it's Elodie. They look happy. It was undoubtedly a better time. This looks like the key to the main hall. Could be my way into the heart of the house. Elodie was committed to a psychiatric facility, but she supposedly recovered from whatever ailed her.
Lady Margaret Fawcett. I'm writing to you as the attending physician of Ward 2 to provide an update on your daughter Elodie's progress. It is with great pleasure that I report her notable improvement. Elodie now confides that she no longer experiences dark thoughts. Most importantly, the nightmares have subsided, and she has begun to communicate more amicably with fellow patients, a crucial step in her recovery. Elodie has also asked me to relay a request. She would like you to bring her amber necklace when you visit this Sunday. I will continue to keep you informed of her progress. Respectfully, Dr. Mulder, Chief Psychiatrist at Westland Asylum. Okay. So we have the key.
That cold, old house had begun to give up its secrets. For a fleeting moment, I thought I heard the voice of a young woman, softly humming a tune. And then it hit me, clear as a gunshot in the dark. A ghost from the past was ready to speak. A tale of love and dread. A mystery begging to be solved.